Did I tell you that Cal lies a lot? Good evening, Randy, Chip, Hall of Fame members, Ms. Robinson, and fellow inductees. Needless to say, but I am really humbled by my induction tonight. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of my friends out there. In fact, you know what? You are all my friends. I haven't met half of you, and I look forward to doing that. But I especially want to thank my family for their support, because those of us that are coaches know that we battle with the problem of not enough time and face a difficult challenge of dividing that time between our family and our athletes. So Sue, Dan, and Shannon, you are in the Hall of Fame with me tonight. I want to thank the Southwestern School District for allowing me to have a dream and to teach and coach so many fine young people. I wouldn't change a thing. For all the Southwestern students and athletes, I want to thank you, because without you and your efforts in my classes and my athletics, I certainly wouldn't be here. You too are in the Hall of Fame with me tonight. I thought about what I wanted to say in my acceptance speech since I received my letter from the Hall. And I'm not much of a public speaker, and you can see I'm a bumbling idiot. But beside that, forgive me for reading this, but I believe life is about relationships and what one does with these relationships. First, in my opinion, I think we all need to have a strong spiritual relationship with whomever you worship. I believe that God has provided me with the tools for success and guided me not only in my teaching and coaching, but in life in general. Second, we need that strong family support, because often during an athletic season, the spouse usually raises the family and takes care of everything at home. That's the way it was with me. As our vow said, for better or worse, I got the better, Sue got the worse. Our parents also deserve a lot of thanks for persevering with unconditional love throughout our years of growing up. Next is a relationship in our developmental years with someone who sets the example that you would like to emulate. That could be a special relative, friend, coach, teacher, or someone who is a confidant. Hopefully, we as teachers and coaches can be that positive role model in a young person's life. When you finally start a career, it's important to have a good relationship with your coworkers and your bosses. And I have been blessed by both great bosses and wonderful mentors throughout my career. They have made my job a lot of fun. I just can't imagine what it's like to come home from work every day and having hated every minute of the day. My mentors, Dick Chevalier, Flash Olson, and Neoma Berg, kept me focused on what makes a good teacher. They told me that if you respect your students, they will respect you. Thank you, Bill. I look pretty bad, huh? Running down my nose? That's what the old people have. Thank you. They told me that if you respect your students, they will respect you. Once I realized this, I became a better teacher. I have always enjoyed watching a young person achieve a skill that they couldn't do until they accomplished the task and saw the smile on their face. That's what made my job such a pleasure. In the early years of my coaching, I had a lot to learn about relationships and how to interact with my athletes. It was all about me and not what was best for the team. In the early 70s, my good friend and former runner Jerry Mara came to me one day and explained that the team didn't appreciate my behavior. Not an easy task for a 17-year-old kid. I was not the type of coach that they respected. I was shocked and hurt, but knew that they were correct. I vowed that I would change and work from that day on to become a better coach and to interact better with my athletes, to put their well-being ahead of my agenda. We discussed what the practices were meant to do for whatever events they were in. They listened to me most of the time. Sometimes I listen to them, because an athlete knows what his body feels like. So if I felt they were right, I went with them. And we had a great relationship. I've had a tremendous relationship with most of my runners, male and female. I was thrilled to congratulate Dan Mueller and Jack Brunez, who finished 1-2 in the recent Lucy Half Marathon. Some other greats from Southwestern in track and field and cross country that I have great relationships are two-time state champion Brian Hull and Cheryl Bailey, who was a track star at Slippery Rock and became an assistant athletic director at the University of Wisconsin. And of course, with that great introduction, my great friend, Hall of Famer Cal Cedarquist. And I said, who was a long and triple jumper on one of my first teams, and he stole my thing, I was going to say, but I won't tell him how early. Well, he blew that for me. But Cal, you're great. Thank you very much. In the mid-'70s, I took a sabbatical leave to attend graduate school at the University of North Carolina in Greensboro. After a year away, I came home to start my officiating career by officiating high school track and field. Again, relationships. Thanks to Boyd Madison and the late Joe Paternitti, two very close friends, I began my 38-year career in officiating high school track and field. They were outstanding mentors and showed me the way to be an official in a professional way. They were always there to lead by example. In the mid-'80s, Joe got me interested in officiating USA track and field. I was still officiating at the local level, but Joe had been to a couple big meets, one at the University of Oregon and one at Ohio State. When he told me what he had seen and what was going on, I was hooked. My first big meet was the World University Games at the University of Buffalo in 1993. Again, I was intrigued watching some of the world's best athletes from ages 16 to 20 compete against each other. When I retired from teaching in 1998, I started doing the circuit, as I call it. And I met the guru, who is a good friend, Mr. Charlie Reuter, who wrote the book on umpiring in track. Now, an umpire, we don't call balls and strikes and so on, but we're placed around the track looking for running violations, relay violations, and hurling violations. When Charlie retired, his successor, Gordon Bocock, took over, and I've been all over the country working with him and a number of other top-notch track officials from the state of Kentucky. They call me a Kentucky wannabe. Walt, am I a Kentucky wannabe? We'll go over that later. I've had the honor to officiate the United States Olympic Trials, World's Masters for athletes over 35, and numerous NCAA championships. I'm humbled and honored to be selected for this year's class and join with other Southwestern greats like Cal, Walt Thurno, Ann Tenney Smith, Neilma Berg, and Roger McTavish, to name a few. In closing, I'd like you to do three things. Always look on the positive side of things. Your life will be a lot better. And don't be afraid to laugh at yourself. Smile, because you never know how that smile will affect another person. And third, be sure to care for those less fortunate than you are. Thank you, and God bless you all.